Welcome to Design to the Nines. I'm Natalie Callahan, and if this is the first time we're meeting, welcome to my channel. In today's episode, I've got 5 way cool, dirt cheap Easter/spring DIYs for you. This is a new series that I've started where the goal is to have a very designer looking decor piece that's around $10 or less, but has a high-end finish. And if you watched last month's episode, the very first project I did was this really awesome love sign with the metallic gold. I just loved this piece. It was definitely one of my favorites. Now at the time I said to hang on to this because there was a backside. And for our first DIY, we are going to be doing Happy Easter. Now you could do Happy Spring if you don't celebrate Easter. It's totally cool. We celebrate Easter in my house, so we are going to be doing Easter. Now even though I'm going to be using a Cricut machine to complete my project, for those of you who do not own a Cricut machine, I have not forgot you. I've got a printable all ready to go that you can use to transfer this exact image onto your wood round. So whether you have a machine or not, you can do this project. Now, if you stick with me to the very end, I'm gonna promise you 3 things. 1, you're gonna have a lot of fun, or at least I hope you will along the way. Number 2, I'm saving my favorite project till the end. And 3, all the way through, I've got several free things for you, even up to the end, so you're gonna wanna stay tuned so you don't miss out on a thing. So let's get started. I start out by painting the back of the round in a concoction of blue paint that I stirred up myself and didn't end up liking it. So once it dried, I painted it in WAVERLY chalk paint in the color Pool. By the way, this is a collaboration with Holly over at Living It Country. If you're coming on over from her channel, welcome. I'm so glad to meet you. If you haven't heard of Holly from Living It Country, you definitely want to go check out her channel. She is so adorable and she does some really awesome projects. She does a lot of DIY and home decor. Go over and check her channel out. Let her know I sent you. Now we're going to go into Cricut Design Studio and we're just going to put in Happy Easter. Now the font that I am using is called Nocturnal, and you can download that for free at defont.com, and then you can have that on your computer, and then Cricut Design Studio will pick up that font and you can use it in there. So that's really good. So then once we've got our sign situated how we want, we just go in, we get our vinyl ready. Now I picked up this gold vinyl, and some of you might just decide to cut the vinyl and call it a day. But I really am in love with this metallic pure gold by Folk Art. I really like the way it looks. So I'm not going to be using vinyl today. And this is removable, even though it's like almost the same color. It's kind of funny. It's very close, but this is just not as warm. The vinyl's not as warm. So we're going to be using this as a stencil, but I know that I'm going to get comments of, why didn't you just go ahead and use the vinyl? Well, because it doesn't match the gold that's already on there. And I really love the warmth of this gold. And so we're going to go ahead and just use that paint today. If you don't have a Cricut, here's the process. Take the printable I provided in the description box below and lay it on your round. Place graphite paper underneath and trace the lettering. It will transfer onto the wood, then you just hand paint it in the gold color. If you are using a vinyl cutter, now it's time to apply your stencil. And then we are going to do a layer of the original blue color over the stencil. Now this is the same technique I use to stripe my walls, and the reason I do this is when it bleeds the original color, and inevitably most things bleed. Especially if there's any kind of texture at all. So this is just a way to avoid some of the bleeding, and once that blue color is dried, we'll go over and do 2 coats of our gold to just get a really nice pure gold color. And then when that's dried, all we need to do is pull up the vinyl stencil and it is done. I am super happy with how this turned out, this Easter sign. And if you look at this, we've got love, we've got Easter, so we've got 2 for 1. You can't beat that, because now it makes this wood round cost go in half. So originally it cost $6 for this wood round, and by doing it for 2 holidays, that saves you a bunch of money. Dual purpose. love it. I did blue because it kind of coordinates with all of the other colors that I've got going on, but you can really do any pastel color that you want. All right, so for my next DIY, we're calling it a mini Easter cloche. I actually have a couple of different ways that I'm gonna go about this. So you're gonna have a couple of different options here. So just hang with me and I'm gonna explain it all. Almost all of these items I have gotten from the Dollar Tree. Now I'm not a big Dollar Tree crafter, but if I can make it look pretty darn good, then I'll go with that. So here's what I've got planned. So I came across these candlesticks at the Dollar Tree and I thought that they were awesome. I loved the way they looked. They're pretty beefy for a Dollar Tree candlestick. So I snatched up like 5 of them and then I got like 3 in white because I haven't seen these a whole ton in the stores, and so I wanted to make sure I stocked up. So hopefully you can find these in your store. You can also find similar stands to this in the unfinished wood section at Michael's with a 40% off coupon. It will still be extremely affordable, maybe a couple of bucks. So I've used those ones before as well. So then I found this glass. It was curvy and not super flat on the bottom. Flipping that over, it fits perfectly into our candlestick, and there you have a mini cloche, but I'm not gonna leave it alone like that. But you could also put it in bottom down, and it also makes a beautiful hurricane. So there's that option as well. Now making the cloche, there's usually some kind of knob or handle, not always, but usually there's some kind of decorative knob on top. Well, you could go and use a cabinet hardware pull. If you're a perfume lover like myself, I've kind of whittled it down to like one favorite perfume that I wear most of the time, and that's Princess by Vera Wang. I really love that one. Usually the perfumes come with really pretty bottle toppers, and so instead of using a cabinet knob this time, I have this left over from one of my perfume bottles, so that means it's free and we're upcycling it from our perfume bottle. And I thought we could just glue this to the top of our cloche like so, and how pretty is that, really? And it's so high-end looking, and you would never tell that these things are from the Dollar Tree. Then I went on a hunt for a mini bunny. At the Dollar Tree, they had these little kid ceramic painting kits. I thought that the bunny was really cute. Now, we're gonna have to take off the topper very carefully out of this bunny, and you could just leave it white and do something with it just like this, and that would be really cute. But I have the tiniest little bit of cement spray paint left over from a project last fall, and I thought it would be kind of fun to give it a cement look, and then we might go back on top and add in a little bit more white, and we'll just have to play around with it. But I thought it would be fun to make our little bunny stone-like. Then we're gonna just put in a little bed of moss that we got from the Dollar Tree, and we're gonna just put some of that in the bottom of our candlestick, and then we'll set our bunny on top of it. We might even add a little greenery and other things to make it feel a little spring-like, maybe a few little flowers. And then we'll put our cloche top on, and there you have it. Now again, you could do this entire process doing it with the bottom down and just the hurricane, and do everything else exactly the same, and that would be super cute. I'm actually really surprised at how much I love how this turned out. I also, as just kind of a little added bonus, I took one of my little Easter nests from last year's DIY place card holders and just set it on top of another one with a little bit of extra greenery that I had on hand. So that's just kind of a little side thing. This is not the focus of our project. Our Easter bunny looks really legitimately like a cement one. Now, I don't think that that has anything to do with the cement spray paint that I used. Honestly, I wouldn't recommend it, just because I feel like to get the real cement look, you have to take it through some extra steps. So you'd be just as good as using a gray paint or gray primer. So we're in this $1 to $3-ish, give or take a little bit for supplies, and it is really cute. So next time you're thinking of throwing away some of those empty perfume bottles or beauty products and they have a cool top on it, hang on to it. You never know when you might need it. So DIY number 3, we are doing a moss bunny sign. Now, if you remember this sign from my last month's Way Cool Dirt Cheap episode. I did the number 14 for Valentine's Day. Well, Valentine's Day is over, and if you remember, I just stuck these on here with some little glue dots. So in theory, we should be able to pull these off super easy. And we're gonna use the frame from that project to do our spring themed picture. So this is gonna turn out to be very versatile, and I have a feeling that it's gonna reoccur every time I do a Way Cool Dirt Cheap. Who knows? I might shake it up here and there, you never know. But if you missed last month's Way Cool Dirt Cheap episode, I'm going to tell you how to prep the wooden frame, which is actually a wooden canvas that I picked up at Walmart for $4.97. And I just flipped it over to the backside where I painted the interior part white and the exterior frame part black, and then I slightly distressed it. Last month I used some glue dots to attach my number 14, and they ended up being way stickier than I thought that they would be. So I ended up having to kind of sand this down and do some touch-up painting just because of how sticky the glue dots were. Now I picked up this moss sheet at the Dollar Tree. They're kind of hit and miss, so if you see these, grab them. You can find moss sheets a lot of different places, but this one was just $1, and it's actually the perfect size to fit right inside our frame. I've got a printable for you of a bunny, and you're gonna print it out, and we're gonna use that as a template, and we're gonna cut out our moss sheet. Now anytime you are working with moss, you're just bound to make a huge mess, so just know that. Now, since our glue dots were kind of a fail, we are going to attach our mossy bunny using mounting putty instead. And just attach this temporarily to our sign, because you never know what we're going to use with this little sign next, so we don't want to make it permanent. I just think this is so cute. So I put a little plaid bow on our little bunny. It's so cute. So this was $5, but we've now used it twice, so that drops it down to $2.50. We used a sheet of our Dollar Tree moss for $1 and some extra ribbon that I had on hand. So you really can't beat that. We will be able to use this frame over and over and over again. Just don't use those glue dots. They work a little too good. So next up, we are going to be doing a carrot and pom-pom garland. I'm excited about this because if you remember from a couple months ago, I made giant pom-poms and put them on pillows. I put them on a throw blanket, and I showed you how to make them. I bought a set of these pom-pom makers, and in that set was this little itty bitty pom-pom maker, and I think that this is the perfect project for that. I picked up this green yarn from Michael's, and it was on sale. I don't remember, it was just a couple bucks. We probably won't use hardly any of it. I thought it would look really cute with these carrots that you can find at the Dollar Tree. To make the mini pom-poms, you take out one side of your little tool. You're going to wrap it back and forth on your little maker until it's almost full in the center, and you're going to do it again on the other side. Once you have your maker closed, then you're going to take some scissors and snip them until it's like this nice fuzzy thing. Then you're going to take another piece of yarn and tie it really tight in the center. Then you can pop open your pom-pom maker and you have a mini pom-pom. I am going to be using some of this jute twine that I picked up at the Dollar Tree just because it's a little bit sturdier than the yarn, a little bit stiffer, so I think it will hold the weight of everything a little bit better. And I kind of like that natural rustic feel, especially since we're kind of doing a very like farmhouse feel with a lot of these. Very springy, earthy feeling. And then we're going to just rotate the pom-poms and the carrots. I used the excess pom-pom string to tie them onto the twine and cut off the excess to blend in with the rest of the pom-pom. I used the twine to tie the carrots on, and just as a little added reinforcement, I used a little tiny dot of hot glue on each carrot. We have our adorable carrot and pom-pom garland. This was only a couple of bucks, and you can make it as long as you want. I am obsessed with it. We're gonna go ahead and put this on our last DIY, my favorite, the Peter Rabbit sign. You're gonna wanna hold on to your seats, maybe even keep a towel close by because you're gonna break a sweat. No, I'm just kidding. This is probably the easiest DIY. I almost can't call it a DIY. I've made it so easy on you. Now, if you remember from last month's Way Cool Dirt Cheap, we made this I love you sign, and it is so cute. I have just been loving on this for all month. I'm loving my love sign. If you have a 16 by 20 frame lying around your house, or maybe you can find one at a thrift store for really, really cheap. We're now reusing this from last month's project, so we will probably reuse this frame multiple times depending on the season. At least that's my plan. So just reuse a 16 by 20. I don't put the glass in it just because I feel like it looks more art-like or sign-like without the glass, but you could totally put the glass in. That's just a personal preference thing. So this is how easy I've made this for you. What you're gonna do is you're gonna need to download this adorable print, and I've provided the link below. Isn't it so cute, this Peter Rabbit? Unfortunately, this won't meet the criteria for printing it out as a color engineered print. So you will have to print this technically as a poster. Now you can do this at Walmart for $9.86, which gets you right underneath that $10 if you have the frame on hand already. Print it in a matte finish. You get your print and you put it in the frame, and boom, you're done. We're gonna take our garland from DIY project number 4 and just kind of stream it onto the picture frame, and the carrots with the Peter Rabbit with the orange and the blue. It's so springy and so cute, and you're welcome for it being like the easiest DIY ever. Just kidding. If you're interested in getting this print, the link is in the description box below. But for under $10, and you've already got the frame from last month, this is super cute. This would look great in a nursery. It would also look really cute for a baby shower, and it's definitely cute for your spring and Easter decor. If you enjoyed this episode, here's another one that I think you'll like as well. And to all my DIY Niners, thank you so much for watching. Bye.